Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I decided to do a video for homemade crust because I already did the video for peach cobbler. So sorry about the clickbait, guys, but if you want to see the video for peach cobbler, I did include the link in the description box. I wanted to do a video just to show you guys all on its own how to make homemade crust, because I know that you may make crust not just with peach cobbler but with other things. So check out this video and I'll break it down for you step by step. All right, friends, since we're going old school, we're going to go old school with the crust. We're going to take our 2 cups of sifted flour and then add in the 1 teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to add 1 cup of butter, but you're going to slice up the butter into the crust, and then we're going to add 1 cup of vegetable shortening. Once we add those things, we're going to use a pastry cutter to cut the ingredients into the flour so it's going to be crumbly. That's the texture that we're looking for. So make sure you kind of pay attention to the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Then we're going to take 1 cup of water and then add in the ice cubes because we want the water to be ice cold, and we're going to slowly add 1 tablespoon of water at a time. We're looking for a specific texture with the crust, so you may add in the full cup or cup and a half of ice water, or you may not. We're looking for a very specific clay texture, and we're adding that water 1 tablespoon at a time, and you'll see that's how I'm adding it. You want to create that well in the middle, and then you're going to stir from outside to inside, very similar to a biscuit recipe where you're stirring from outside to inside and you're slowly changing the texture of that flour, and you'll see that the dry ingredients start to change and you'll start to get more of a crust a crust like texture with the flour. The more and more you add the water, you don't want to add it at one time, you want to add it little by little. You'll see I did not add in that full cup. Then you're going to add half a cup of flour to a clean surface and then add your dough pile to that flour. Then you're going to cut and fold. You're going to create a layers, and what you're trying to do is incorporate that flour into the larger dough that you have, but also create a consistent ball, and you're going to cut it in half. Now the reason why I cut it in half is because I like to have crust on the bottom and crust on the top, but if you just want crust on the top, then you're not going to cut it in half. I then wrap the pieces of dough in saran wrap and place them in the refrigerator for at least an hour. After you've taken the dough out of the refrigerator or the freezer and it's thawed out, you're going to take it and add it to another floured surface. Add a little flour on the outside so it can be easier to deal with, and you're going to roll it out with a rolling pin and flatten it to the dimensions of whatever it is that you are making. In this particular instance, I was making peach cobbler, so I was using a larger casserole dish, and so that is how I flatten my dough out. But of course you can add it to whatever it is that you want to use. And then I also created a top layer for my casserole dish for my peach cobbler, and I created a webbing using the dough cutter. That is a completely optional part of the process, but that's certainly something that you can do. Of course, whatever it is that you are cooking, you want to make sure you spray it down with some kind of cooking spray and then place it in the oven for the requisite amount of time that's necessary for the dish to cook. Again, in this particular instance, I made a peach cobbler, but you can use this crust recipe for whatever it is that you're making. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and you can use this crust recipe so many different ways. So let me know what you're using your homemade crust for. Thank you so much for checking out my page and my channel, and I just really appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe and check out some of the other videos we have on the docket. I promise you're going to love them. Cooking and gardening and all types of stuff. Talk to you next time. Bye.